Let's talk about prime factoring. So prime factoring is a method used to factor a composite number until all factors are prime. So a composite number is a number that has factors besides one in itself. A prime number is a number that only has factors of one in itself. So let's talk about some common prime numbers. Getting a good list will help us in our problems today. So common primes, these are good to memorize: 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, and they go on forever. In prime factoring, we mostly use the smaller prime numbers like 2, 3, 5, and 7. So let's try a few examples. So 16 is a composite number, and I want to break 16 down into all of its prime factors. So to do that, we usually use this method. I call it upside down division. So you put an upside down division box, and you start dividing 16 by its lowest prime factor. So look at our lowest prime. It's 2. Is 2 a factor of 16? Yes, it is. So you put a 2 in the front. And what is 16 divided by 2? 16 divided by 2 is 8. So write an 8 underneath it. Remember, upside down division. Then we draw another upside down division box and look at 8. Can 8 be divided by my lowest prime of 2? Yes, it can. So put a 2 in the front. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Write a 4 underneath. Divide 4 by my lowest prime of 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and I am done. How do I know I'm done? I know I'm done because I ended with a prime number. 2 is prime. I can't break it down any farther. So to write out my final answer, it'll be 16 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. I'm going to use a dot for multiplication. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Or I can write it using exponents. Exponents show repeated multiplication of the same number. So 2 times itself 4 times. Since I have 1, 2, 3, 4 2's being multiplied together, I can write it as 2 to the 4th power. That's my final answer for finding the prime factorization of 16. Let's try another example. All right, let's find the prime factors of the number 36. So draw your upside down division, and you look at your lowest prime. My lowest prime is 2. Is 2 a factor of 36? Yes, it is. 36 divided by 2 is 18. Okay, 18 is composite, so let's keep going. Can 18 be divided by 2? Yes. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 9 is composite. Let's keep going. Can 9 be divided by 2? No, it cannot. So I can't divide it by 2, so I go to the next lowest prime, which is 3. Can 9 be divided by 3? Yes, it can. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 is prime, so I am finished. And I write 36 equals 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And I can write that using my exponents. So 36 equals 2 to the second power times 3 to the second power, because there's 2 2's being multiplied and 2 3's being multiplied. So that would be my final answer. Let's try another example. Write a little bit bigger number, 125. Let's try to break that down. So 125, let's draw our upside down division box. 2 is not a factor of 125. 3 is not a factor of 125. 5 is. How do I know 5 is a factor of 125? Because 125 ends in a 5. So 125 divided by 5, you might have to do that off to the side, but that will give us 25. Let's keep breaking it down. 25, that's also divisible by 5. 25 divided by 5 is 5. So we got a bunch of 5s here. So final answer, 125 equals 5 times 5 times 5. Or writing it with exponents, 125 equals 5 to the third power. Okay, one more quick example, 48ths. Remember, you might think jump to fourths, but always start with your lowest prime, which is 2. 48 divided by 2 is 24. 24 is also divisible by 2. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And I know I'm done because 3, my last number, is a prime number. So when I write my answer out, 48 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Or I can write it as, with my exponents, 2 to the fourth power times 3 to the first power.